So my name is Daniel Karrenberg, and I'm still shell-shocked, really, because 2 weeks ago I wasn't expecting to be here. I've been selected by the Root Server System Advisory Committee, which is a very small committee with a very limited charter that looks after the DNS root server system. We're basically 12 people representing the 12 organizations that operate DNS root servers. As for me personally, I've been involved with internet and internet governance for quite some time, since the 1980s in fact, and my last close involvement really with ICANN has been during its formation. But I see my role here not so much as representing RSSAC or being sort of remote controlled by the people who selected me, but rather as someone who helps the process along to do something that's very simple in the end. It's writing a proposal how to replace some very clearly defined functions that currently the US Department of Commerce does. I think there's been quite a lot of hype about this, and my personal opinion about it is it's a very, in the end, it's a relatively clear defined small thing. You know, it may be a great leap to some, but it's still, in the end, it's a small step. And it's a step that's been foreseen, I think, for as long as ICANN exists, at least by myself and by a lot of other people. So it's nothing sort of revolutionary, great change or whatever. It's just a small step on a way that's been set out for quite some time already. The RSSAC has actually adopted a resolution with some initial guidance to us, which quite clearly states that our primary purpose here is to help a process that achieves the broadest practical support in a reasonable time. So I wouldn't come at it from the angle of a specific agenda of this specific group. What the initial guidance also says, let me paraphrase, is to make sure that no harm comes from what the resolution of this process is and what the final proposal is. And no harm means no harm to the internet in general, but also no harm to the root server operators. Yeah. But that's, I think, even listed as a secondary objective. Well, as I said previously, I think it's a step on a road that's already been set out. And it's a small step, but it's an important step. And that is the removal of a specific government, the United States government, from one of the processes of internet self-governance. And what importance you attach to it is, I think, largely subjective. So I won't go into my subjective thing, but it is not unimportant. But I think in the past couple of months since the NTIA made the announcement, it's been, I would almost say, put out of proportion in its consequences. You know, the actual operational consequences. Yeah. But it's important. It needs to happen. But it's not, you know, the change of paradigm or something like that.